Welcome, guys. This is Ritwik Ahlawat, and welcome to the Out of Office podcast. And it is powered by SyncUp. Today, we are joined by Priyesh, and he's just 19 years old, and he runs his own website design agency. He has worked with over 50 clients, both within Asia and outside, with US and UK based clients as well. And he's probably one of the best website designers I know. So, welcome, Priyesh, and glad to have you, man.
Thank you, Ritik. Thank you for the warming welcome, and hello, everyone, all the listeners of the podcast.
Perfect. So, Priyesh, you can probably, I've given you a very short introduction,
Yeah, yeah,
but I think you can tell a little bit about your story. How did you get started in this whole space? What motivated you to get into this whole space? And then we can take it from there.
yeah. So I started my career when I was in class 11th. I was giving the examination of that. I was just figuring out like what to do exactly in the future, but I didn't got idea. I was just literally scrolling on YouTube, and one of Ishan Sharma's video actually popped up that time. Like he was talking about some website development or something. I saw like it's a very good way to like actually generate a bit of a money for me. So I thought like let's give it a shot. I recently like that time I got my laptop hands, so I have to eventually. So this is how it actually started. But it took me like close to 6 months to be honest to get my first client, and I got it from Instagram. We're surely gonna talk about that, like how that thing actually happened. But from there things have started working out. I later joined LinkedIn for the better reach and for better clientele, and from then like everything is fine. Currently, I'm in college second year to be honest, and will give the exam. So hopefully,
Okay.
I get past this time. But yeah, that's it.
That's great, man. I think everybody who's watching, who's probably a freelancer or an agency owner, will definitely
Yeah,
resonate with you. I remember when I had started, it took me also almost 3 to 4 months just to get my first client. But then once you get that first client,
yeah,
then the floods get open, right? Then you figure out that, okay, this is
absolutely.
what I'll have to do to get my next set of clients, right? So it's great to have you, man, on the podcast. And let's talk about a little bit about the space you're in, right? So website and website design and conversion rate optimization. So what attracted you specifically to this place? And, how have things been going on the past 3 years for you?
To be honest, the agar if I have to say very truth, it's the money. The amount of website designers are paid in the industry. They are one of the highest paying freelance jobs, softwares and the websites. People pay them hundreds and thousands of dollars. I when I started, I used to charge somewhere like, to be honest, for the first website, I charged close to $100 of hours. It was an
Okay.
Indian client, but yeah. Currently, I charge close to my prices starts from $3,000. So
Crazy.
the money is the which actually attracted me a lot in this industry, and from the first year was not that good to be honest. I was struggling. I didn't know what to do. But as the things have worked out in the second year, I like did a few things, learned different stuff. But in the third year, that is the big hit to be honest.
Yeah.
We are will be ending close to around $20,000 as gross revenue by the end of this year, and currently building my team side by side. So one thing I would say, like if you are scaling freelancer, just hire the team as soon as possible,
Yeah.
specifically a marketing manager for the company, because you will be running for the clients. There should be a person who is building the company at the back end,
Makes
to be
sense.
honest.
Makes
Yeah,
sense. That's great. That's great. I think money is certainly one of the biggest motivators, right?
absolutely.
And more importantly, why is it that website designers are paid so much? Like just in my perspective, so my agency is a performance marketing agency, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the first thing that we do whenever we go and work with clients, especially people who are very serious about growing their business, we tell
Yeah.
them that, hey, your website is not optimized, your website is not
Mm-hmm.
designed well, your website is not bound for conversion. And people are so, because the psychology of people nowadays is that they're used to, they want to feel welcome when they come to a website, right?
Yeah, yeah,
When you're
absolutely.
charging those prices, I'm very, very sure that you have reached a stage where your designs give that welcoming feeling, give that homely feeling to the customers, the clients of those particular customers, right? So I
Yeah,
think that's extremely important to get
yeah.
to reach that stage. Talking
That's
about, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, uh, The first impression of the website is everything. Like the first 5 seconds and the first hero section of any website is the most
Yeah,
important part of any website. Like if you
yeah,
can I curse? I'm not.
yeah, yeah,
So if you fuck up there in the first section, you're done, dude.
yeah,
You're done.
mhm,
You're
mhm.
done.
Yeah. True,
So like
true.
that's the thing which
So,
I even follow.
are there any particular niches of client that you're working with, or currently, you have a
Um,
broad set of different clients in like e-commerce and coaching, or are you focusing on a particular set of clients right now?
so to be honest, I've categorized my client sets from different social medias. LinkedIn, I
Okay,
target what do you call agencies and startups. For
okay,
Instagram, it is specifically for Shopify brand owners. Like,
okay.
in Instagram is, to be honest, is filled with beauty and like these industries. So I
Yeah,
target that because it's easier. It's easiest to target.
yeah,
To be honest, yeah. So
yeah.
I prefer like having this is better, to be honest, like instead
Mm,
of specifically going for just one niche everywhere, because all the
yeah.
social media have different set of audiences.
Makes sense. I think one, I think what you have mentioned is a very interesting thing. People don't think of things like this way. Their idea is that okay, on LinkedIn also I'll target the same set of people. On Instagram also I'll target the same set of people. And a lot of people who ask me that okay, Ritwik, what is one way of acquiring more clients? I always tell them that you have to go out, you'll have to target a bigger total addressable market,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the bigger your TAM is, the more number of clients you can serve, and the more money you will end up making, right? So I think that is what
Absolutely,
you're
yes.
doing. You're targeting LinkedIn different set of customers, Instagram different set of customers, and
Yeah,
you're attracting different kinds of people depending on the platform as well, right?
yeah.
Because I think with Shopify owners specifically, uh, especially with beauty brands, fashion brands, e-commerce, they're very, very visual. Whereas
Yeah,
on LinkedIn, which is also like a like a text-based, content-based platform,
yeah.
agencies and coaches, they have a website which is more functional, more than more
Absolutely, yes.
cosmetic, right? So I think that's also
Yeah.
what you have nailed down very, very well. Talking about somebody who is there in this industry, who you look up to, or some of your competitors, what would you say you are doing different from them, and how are you
Okay.
standing out as a website development agency in comparison to them?
So to be honest, there's this one creator I look up to is like Flux Academy, like a very famous
Okay.
YouTube channel.
Okay.
That's one creator I look up to a lot. And
Yeah.
second is Website Learners. These are the two YouTube channels and the two experts I look up. Third
Okay.
is my friend Adi. Like he's
Okay.
very famous on Instagram,
Yeah.
known as Nomad Adi. Like one of
Yeah.
my favorites people.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
and what makes me different from like my competitors and everyone is like we don't actually develop and design. We
Okay.
actually create a strategy. Our website are one of not the best looking in the industry.
Yeah.
If you pay any freelancer $5,000, $6,000, they will design better websites than us,
Mm.
100%.
Okay.
But they will not bring more conversions and more sales what we actually bring.
Mm.
We focus on design, but design is not everything, dude. Strategy. We focus
Mm.
our work procedure is 6 weeks long. Instead, in that 3 weeks we give it to research and strategy. We create that kind of strategy where website is like just a piece of a revenue generation machine. You just have to
Yeah.
put in money, run ads and everything, whatever you want, and you will get ads.
Mm.
And you will get so much money, make so much money out of it. You can't
Yeah.
handle.
Got it.
That's what
I
I
think
do.
I think that's such a important thing that you mentioned, and people need to know the difference. There's a good-looking website, and there's a website which converts, right?
Yeah.
And often, like since we work with a lot of e-com brands, they might have the most good-looking website. They will have videos, they will have GIFs,
Yeah.
but none of them actually help them in conversions. Rather, it
Absolutely.
backfires because they're not able to optimize the speed post that, right? So I think more than the design, it is about the efficiency, the effectiveness, the conversion rate, which you guys are focusing on. And I think that's why your prices would also be justified for all the clients that you work with,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Uh,
So talking about people who are into the space, people who sort of look up to you on LinkedIn, on Instagram, you have a good following there. So what is your way of acquiring clients? What have you tried in the past which didn't work? what is working for you right now. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Inbound is dead for the short for if you're small creator, you will not
Yeah.
get inbound first thing. You have to outreach. People think
Mm-hmm.
outreaching is very difficult. To be honest, it's not. You just need a
Okay.
freaking script and you just need a target audience. You just
Yeah.
need to figure out who is your target audience and a
Yeah.
perfect script. And
Yeah.
outreach is a numbers game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't just sit on like you will get clients automatically. You will never
Yeah.
get. If you are a
Yeah.
small creator means less than 100,000 followers. You have
Yeah.
to outreach. If you have hundred more than 100,000 followers, yeah, you have to be honest. To be honest, you have already figured out what you are doing. So I don't think
Yeah.
so. You need my advice. But if you
Yeah.
have less than 100,000, start outreaching. The best platform for outreach is LinkedIn and email.
Mm.
Instagram is dead. Don't outreach on Instagram. Instagram is
Okay.
good for creating content, create reels to get viral, and to by that you can acquire clients. But if you want to outreach brands, find the brands on LinkedIn, and then you can easily just outreach to the founder and with the offer. To be honest, offer is one of the most important stuff. So
Yeah.
that, that's it.
Yeah. Got it. So, like you mentioned, that outreach is important, right? And platforms like LinkedIn and email are good for people to outreach on. So, yeah. So, Priyesh, you were mentioning that outreach is so crucial for agency owners. Unless you have extremely huge following, like 100K plus followers, right? So, you mentioned that LinkedIn is there, email is there. What would you say you do different, or what would you recommend people doing nowadays? Because obviously there are so many people getting into this space. What is one thing that they should do different, right? Is it that they should send Loom videos? Should they follow up more times? What is it that works in outreach, and what is it that doesn't work in outreach?
What works in outreach is like one thing which one of my friend Rohit also says is very famous creator on LinkedIn is like start
Mm-hmm.
working with the bigger creators at very low prices or like sometimes free. Get the credibility out of them. Use your project with the bigger creators as a case study to pitch other people, pitch their
Okay.
followers, pitch other people. Okay,
Mm.
so let's take an example. Okay, there is this startup on LinkedIn, health startup. Okay, I want to pitch them. Then to pitch them, like before that, I will work with one of the best therapists on LinkedIn for free or at low cost, so that I have the case study, and the startup people also follows this. So if I send the case study, like I have worked with them, and this is what I have amazing done, they without a doubt 100% they will choose me instead of any other person who is delivering better websites even at a half a rate. They will still go ahead with me because I have the credibility. LinkedIn or anywhere in the freelancing world, everything is credibility. To be honest, whatever projects I get, now I just don't outreach with single message. I send them a case study also. Okay, this is the website I did for one of the biggest creators. That's it.
Yeah, that's really smart. I think that is what people should do.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people ask me that, okay, how do I get started on Upwork, or how
that's
do I get started on
bullshit.
LinkedIn, right? I tell them, like even if you want to make Upwork work, if they have a bids for say $500, go ahead, tell them that, man, like I'll work for free. I'm just looking for case studies. I'll do a good job. I'll do my best, and just first build
Yeah,
credibility.
absolutely.
First build your case studies,
Yeah,
because now once you have case studies, now email will work for you, cold
yeah,
calls will work for you, everything starts working for you,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
So building case studies and building credibility is extremely important. Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah.
So now the other question is, like, once you've started working with these clients, right? You mentioned that you have this whole process of 6 to 8 weeks long of researching, designing, thinking, strategizing. Then post that, right? Once you actually start the development work, how do you keep your clients involved in the project? How do you keep them? How do you communicate with them?
Okay.
Essentially, how do you make them fall in love with you and your teams
Yeah.
so that they can stay with you for a long time and they give you referrals?
Earlier, like for the first 2 years, it was all WhatsApp groups, and everything. I realized it's bullshit because I get hundreds of texts in a day. Then we moved to Asana. Asana, we have different
Okay.
different project sets. Uh, Developers, designers, whole team is up there. We
Yeah.
create a proper mind map. Okay, like this is the project, this is the deadlines, and these are the steps which will follow a proper timeline. Ki from this day to this day, these are the things will be happening, so client know
Yeah.
exactly what is going on. And there's this message group also where client can ask questions, we can ask questions to the client, we have
Yeah.
emails and everything. So it's properly done in a Asana in a way so that whatever client needs, it's available up there. This is, if they are not able to find, they ask. Like we at the starting, we give them a introduction like how you can work in Asana or everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
majorly it's Asana.
Yeah.
Plus, Asana
Got
is
it.
simpler than Slack, to be honest, for the clients. That's why.
Got it. Got it. So one question, you mentioned Asana right now. So how much money are you spending on Asana on a monthly basis just to for this project management and
Currently,
operating
we
this
are
whole?
we are working on a free version of Asana. I haven't bought the
Okay.
paid one, but the paid one is
Okay.
$10 per user.
Okay.
The more you
Got it.
have the user, like the bigger the amount goes.
Got it. And just talking, elaborating more on this. So it is good for project management. But what about like your chats? What about your agreements, invoices, meetings? Do you think that you still waste a lot of time in just managing these different tools?
No, no, no. For the what do you call it? For the
Yeah.
agreements and everything, I have a template. I just have to change the name and few times the
Okay.
scope of the work and pricing. That's it. I just have
Got it.
my. I just quickly message the details to my VA. He emails the
Hmm.
client, follows up with them, make sure that all the documents are signed and everything. Um
Got it.
Apart from that, for the meetings, we have a proper strategy. Like we have a proper SOP. Okay, like how
Yeah.
the process would be like when will the first meeting will happen, when the second and third and everything. So building
Yeah.
the SOPs, to be honest, is one of the best thing which I did for the agency,
Makes
and
sense.
I'm still
Makes
building
sense.
it for the other sectors. But for the client onboarding, that's the best thing, to be honest.
Perfect. You mentioned VAs, right?
Yeah.
So, what is the role of a VA, and would you recommend it to somebody starting off, or when would you suggest that people get VAs? How do you manage VAs? What tasks should you outsource to them? Can you touch a little bit upon that?
Sure. So I have my VA from past like 3 months. So he does
Hmm.
small tasks. Let's say कि like website के लिए थोड़ा सा let's say कि like there's this website. You have to check whether all the filtration is working fine or not. Whether like you're receiving emails or not. LinkedIn, replying to LinkedIn comments, posting on LinkedIn,
Hmm.
okay, like
Okay.
scheduling something and checking the data, replying comment,
Hmm.
like small tasks where
Yeah.
you can't waste your time, to be honest, because you
Yeah.
have to run a freaking company. So
Yeah.
for that you need a VA. And if you're starting
Okay.
out, you are making less than $1,000 a month, you should not get a VA.
Got it.
If
Like just do
you
things by yourself, figure
Yeah,
out
yeah,
things by yourself.
yeah, absolutely, because
Understood.
you haven't learned anything. I'm here from past 3 years, and I know those stuff, and those stuffs are
Yeah.
very boring, to be honest. I don't want to waste
Hmm.
time 1 2 hours on like just sending agreements or making sure meetings and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And how much do you spend with your VAs? Like, how much money do you spend on VAs per month?
I let me give you the biggest hack. People will hate me,
Yeah.
but yeah, I hired a college student. I have a
Okay.
decent following on Instagram. I just posted a story like I'm looking for a VA. A few of the college student applied. I hired a college
Okay.
student. He works like 4 to 5 hours a day for me, and I'm paying him 5,000 INR. That's
Okay.
that's a very good
Like 30,
deal.
$40 per month.
Yeah, that's a very good deal. But when you work with
Yeah.
the college students, but it's very
Yeah.
hard
Makes
to
sense.
find good people, to be honest. I found
Yeah.
that, and I'm in
That's
love
true.
with that person. That person is
Yeah.
best.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So shout out to your VA, right?
Shout
So
out to Shan.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, man, fantastic. And getting into the other aspect of business, right? Now you're a pretty young guy. You're 19 years old. You have been into this space for the past 3 years. What would you say this whole entrepreneurship journey has taught you, right? In these past 3 years, what have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about the world? What have you learned about business? So, would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Sure. There are these three things which I've learned. First, you have to learn sales anyhow. You need to learn how to create a freaking offer, because the moment
Yeah.
when you are in a call, nothing will matter. You have to sell
Hmm.
yourself. You need to know how to make how to make that person in front of you buy the service which you're offering. Offer him something
Yeah.
which he can't actually refuse. What I do
Yeah.
is like I have a very amazing case studies. I have like results backing case studies. I just have to
Hmm.
show them okay, like look, I have gotten this results for my client, and they just simply
Yeah.
get my services because You have to build the credibility, and to
Yeah.
that you have to learn sales. Second thing
Yeah.
is learning a bit of a social media. Like you need to know how socials works, like how like LinkedIn and Instagram works, reels and everything. Because now in this time, if you're not leveraging that, that is major threat for your business. As an entrepreneur, I suggest learn these two things.
Yeah.
Third, to be honest, is it's a very underrated, but how to hire the right person. People don't know, to be honest. New
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, even the old ones, don't know how to hire. I have
Yeah.
struggled this a lot, but slowly
Yeah.
I'm learning it, like how to hire the right person in the company. Because when you hire the wrong person, everything goes wrong. You waste a lot
Yeah.
of money, you waste a lot of time. I have literally lost a 5,000 pound deal, which is like in India, it was like 5 lakh worth of website deal, just because
Yeah.
one of the wrong hired person did something wrong with the project that made me lose that deal.
Yeah, true. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. You'll not believe it, Priyesh. The book I'm reading right now, it's called Hiring for Attitude. Uh, it's I've realized, in my own entrepreneurship journey, I've also been an entrepreneur for almost, I would say, 5 years as an entrepreneur, as an agency owner for the past 2.5 years.
Yeah.
The one thing which I've learned by working with multiple businesses, I'm sure you would have as well, is that making good hires,
Yeah.
the ROI on that is
Yeah.
like impeccable. The thing is that it's very, 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 very tough to find the
Yeah.
right people
Yeah.
who have the right set of skills, who have the right set of attitude, who have the right set of everything together,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So that's literally, so anybody who is resonates with Priyesh and me can go ahead and read this book. It's called Hiring for Attitude. A lot of practical tips, Priyesh, for you as well. A
Yeah.
lot of hiring tips, how to go out, how to identify the true nature of clients, of candidates. Sorry, how to identify the true nature of candidates, how to identify the true nature of their work, how to find out if they're actually skilled or not. So a lot of those things, a lot of high level stuff is inside this book, and I would recommend that to everybody.
Yeah.
Talking about your previous points, social media. I think anybody who's there, you can't be an introvert today, right? You have to go out there. You have to show yourself. You have to show
Yeah.
off your services. And I know it might sound that, especially in Asian culture, we are taught that you shouldn't show off, you shouldn't be out there too much, you should fly under the radar.
Yeah.
But the problem is that in this social media driven age, you need to be out there, you need to be making content,
Yeah.
you need to be showing off your
Absolutely.
work, because that is what attracts clients, right? Going back to your previous point of working with big people first for less amount of work, credibility in a different way is just the ability to show off your good work,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? If
Absolutely.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I think sounds good. I think it's great that you have
Yeah.
learned these things. Skill, talking about the skills that you have developed. Obviously, apart from your main skill, which is your website designing,
Yeah.
sales is something which I think anybody and everybody can benefit out
Absolutely.
of. So because sales is also like multiple fold, right? Like sales is communication, sales is negotiation, sales is presentation. Like there are so many things involved in sales. So I think like your dress up so well today, right? That creates an impact by itself. If you're in a rugged old t-shirt, people will not find you like a trustworthy
Yeah.
salesman,
Yeah.
right? They'll
They.
not take your services, they'll not trust you. So sales is also like so many things, and I think it's very important to
Yeah.
for anybody who wants to do well in life
Yeah.
to know some aspect of sales, right? So that is there. Anything else you would want to add here? Like,
Yeah.
what are some other skills that you have learned along the way, apart from the three, four things that we just talked about?
Sure. One thing I would like to add, um,
Yeah.
if you're jumping in a call, make
Yeah.
sure you look like someone on whom a person can spend that much money. Let's say I'm pitching a website worth of $5,000. I have to look worthy
Yeah.
enough in the call. I can't go there with a
Yeah.
very bad camera, very bad audio, very bad the overall aesthetics. I can't look even bad in the call
Yeah.
if I'm asking that person to give me $5,000. This is one thing which
Yeah.
Adi even taught me. Like back then I was like doing with like very bad camera, but he also suggested like you should get a amazing camera. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing, to be honest. And come and
True.
and one thing is presentations. Um,
Yeah.
uh, Below $500 projects, you should not create a proper presentations if you're starting out. Okay, above
Yeah.
$5,000, whenever you're on a call, you should create a proper presentations, introduce yourself, introduce the service that you offer, introduce the results which you have gotten, and also
Yeah.
add the testimonials from your past clients. Create a
Yeah.
presentations to show them you are a worthy enough. Under 500 doesn't value, it's not that much value enough. But
Yeah.
if you are like a old enough freelancer, then I think you already know, okay, like what
Yeah.
works better for you. But for the people who are starting, just try this.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So adding, building on that, right? You have also mentioned in the past about building SOPs,
Yeah.
about building presentations. What would you say are, like, if somebody wants to scale up? They have reached this $500 mark. Now they want to scale up to say $5,000 or $10,000 per month in revenue. What are the top five, six types of SOPs and five, six types of presentations and documents they should keep ready with themselves, so that when the time comes and when the need arises, they can use them, and it also helps them scale their business. So what are those like six, seven SOPs you think
Okay.
everybody should have?
Uh, First SOP should be client onboarding, how the client will be onboarded. Second case
Okay.
SOP, how the project will start and function for the people who for the your team. Third is
Okay.
hiring SOP, how the hell you will going to hire. Fourth
Yeah.
SOP is like if something goes wrong in the project, how it will be handled.
Yeah.
Fifth SOP, to be honest, which is very centric to me, but convert but dividing all of the your what do you call it, uh,
Responsibilities.
type of services which you offer in like different segments, and create like
Yeah.
what is their processes. So let's say if you are if you are a agency, if you are just a freelancer, offer social media management for three social medias, just make SOPs for everything. Small SOPs ki like what will happen like everyday wise. So these are
Yeah.
the stuff. Documents wise,
Yeah.
you should have three documents to get signed. First is the client agreement, second is the hiring agreement, third is the, let's say, when third is the NDA, like which you have to get it
Non-disclosure.
signed. Yeah, which you have to get it signed by the person who you are hiring. And sometimes you have to like sign it when you are working with the company itself.
With
So
a
these
client.
are the three documents which you should create for. You
Perfect.
can use ChatGPT, to
Yeah.
be honest. I use
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
exactly. I was just going to mention that AI is there nowadays. You don't need to hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
You can just go ahead, use ChatGPT, especially when you're getting started, right? Like, no need to waste money on resources.
Yeah.
Go ahead, use the free tools out there. Use ChatGPT. GPT-3 is already free for most people out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that is going to be crucial, because I have implemented this in my own process. Like, I was doing sales before without any presentations, without any roadmaps, without any SOPs. And the difference between then and now that I'm using it, like, people literally, I'm sure you would also be getting similar responses.
Yeah.
People literally say that this is the best sales call I've been to,
Yeah.
right? Just because you've presented information in a way where it is so easy for them to understand and trust you. They know that,
Absolutely.
okay, this guy, if Priyesh is here, he will do, this is step number one, he'll do as soon as I get onboarded. This is step number 10, this is step number 20, and this is step number 25 when I start generating sales, right?
Absolutely.
Same
Yeah.
way, they go with Ritwik. Okay, Ritwik, he will first set up the ad account. By day three, I will have my creatives strategy. By day seven, I'll have my first set of campaigns launched. So everything, once you build that trust that, okay, we know what we're doing, that is the moment time when this, the flip switches,
Yeah.
right? So anybody who's watching who is a beginner freelancer, and even somebody who's advanced and they think that they're not growing in their business,
Yeah.
probably it's an SOP problem, nothing else, right? So just build good SOPs,
Yeah.
build good presentations,
Yeah.
and I think you'll be good to go. So anything here, Priyesh, anything from your friends which you have seen what they have done and it has helped them
Yeah.
greatly
Yeah.
in terms of SOPs and presentation?
Before coming to that, I would like to add, if you are like
Yeah.
a businessman, or like if you're an agency or a freelancer, if you're still feeling stuck, okay, like you're stuck at the revenue, go with 10x, high outreach a lot, because SOP is one of the problem, but second biggest problem is you're not booking more and more appointments. So start booking more appointments if you feel you're stuck. That's
Yeah.
That was
True.
I want to add. Apart from that, sorry, what was your question?
So the question was that what about your friends, right? Like, how have they benefited? Like, some good big names. So, what is their perspective on like building systems and SOPs
Yeah.
nowadays?
Um, Adi, like Adi is like again a Shopify developer. He has a proper
Mm,
SOPs. Like, to be honest, better SOPs than me even. All of my
mm,
other agency owner friends, they have amazing killer SOPs. Those are the
mm,
people actually like inspired me to build SOPs and proper processes for everything. And
yeah.
whoever I meet, they everybody talk about how you can nowadays automate everything. So I'm
Mm,
actually building a proper system so that I don't even have to get into the company to make it like running
yeah.
properly.
Mm,
My VAs, my like lead generation experts should be there, generating leads. Salespeople will do the sales calls. Project
mm,
manager will handle the project. Asana is there for the client management. Developer will handle the development, and design will be handled by the designers. I'm just trying to automate
got it.
everything as of now.
Got it. Perfect. I think something which you should try and something that we're doing for our own
Yeah.
agency and for people who are watching, right? Especially if you're stuck between, say, $1,000 to $5,000. I think, especially in Asian countries, it is a little unexplored. Running ads I've been running ads for my own agency and it has worked out beautifully well. We get leads for, I would say, 10, $20, actually lesser than that, $5 to $10, and then you go ahead and convert them for say 1,000, 2,000, $3,000, and the ROI is just like 10, 20, 30 times
Wow.
in a month's time.
Okay.
So that's something which if somebody needs help, they can always reach out to me. I can help them out with, and something, Priyesh, I'm sure you should try out as well, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that I would recommend for people,
I'm actually
right? So
planning to
paid
run
ads.
ads in future, but
Yeah.
still figuring out like the ki kaise kya karna hai, like the overall
Yeah,
processes.
so touching upon that, right? Like for the people again who are just curious about, say, automating a lot of things and putting systems in place.
Yeah.
So for paid ads, the number one thing, as Priyesh has been mentioning, the offer is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Number two, who is the target market? Calling them out in your ads is going to be crucial. So if Priyesh is working exclusively with Shopify developers, sorry, if Priyesh is working exclusively with say Shopify owners, ecom owners, so he will say ecom owners, then he will get into, if you need a high converting website, I have something for you. Then you go ahead and tell them that, okay, what is the benefit? Okay, one, two, three, this is what they are struggling with, and this is how you help them. Then you get them onto a landing page. The landing page should have obviously your offer on the top, your call out, and then a lot of testimonials and your probably your Calendly page. Calendly has a lot of automations. As soon as they book in a call, you can have an intro message going off. You have Zapier, they give you
Yeah.
100 free zaps, so you can send a automated introduction email. You can turn on automations on Calendly as a email and SMS follow up. Once they come on a call, again, as Priyesh has been mentioning, create SOPs, go ahead and convert them. Have a VA who's reaching out to them after you have sent a proposal. So this system, I would say, is very optimized, very automated, probably might work better for Asian clients, not so much for UK and US right now, because the cost per lead is very, very high there. You'll get a lead for say 30, 40, $50 right now. But yes, definitely worth trying out, especially if your target market is here in India itself, right? So yeah, that's something which I want to elaborate on, right? So getting into the next stage, what has been, I would say, since you're again coming back, reiterating, I just can't get my head over this, that you're just 19 years old, right? And there's definitely a stigma, especially in Asia and even around the world, where once you get started so young, people are apprehensive. Parents are apprehensive, siblings and friends might even make fun that, hey man, why are you hustling so much, right? What is the need of this? What is the purpose of this? Why are you doing this? They can't wrap their head around the thing that you're putting so much of time towards a higher purpose rather than just chilling and just going around, roaming around, wasting your time, right? So, what has been I would say, the society's perspective as a whole towards what you're doing?
To be honest, mom and dad always supported me. They still support me a lot for this.
Yeah.
Family is like always like supportive enough for like whatever I'm doing. Friends, even though I don't have like much of the friends, I have 4 or 5 friends. All of them are entrepreneurs or doing something of their own in college itself. So I don't
Amazing.
even have that circle who
Hmm.
makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. They are even like pushing me, "Ki, look, bro, you're doing something wrong. Make this more better." so that it gets
Mm.
on a better high stage. So that's the one thing I would like to add. Just don't make random friends. Make friends with whom you resonate, and
Yeah.
whom who actually can make you like grow at the top.
Mm.
The people
Yeah.
you feel like they will just waste time, just don't talk to them, dude. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a great point, and I'm glad that you have realized this at this age because one thing which people see, there are a lot of distractions nowadays, right? You have social media, you have Netflix, you have Amazon Prime, like you name it, and there's a distraction for everything out there, right? One thing which people don't realize is that the amount of energy you have when you're in your teens or when you're in your early 20s, that amount of energy you will never have down the line when you're 30, 35
Absolutely,
years
yeah.
old, when the societal pressure is there. And I'm not saying that you have to take in that pressure, but it comes on you, right? Because you also have to think, right? Like you need to think that, okay, yeah, I mean, I have spent so much of time. Now I want to get into this whole space of being more settled, right? So the only time that you have is your, late teens, early 20s, where you can make things work, hustle out, find out, make a lot of failures, and still you'll not be affected, right? You can just go ahead, you can go to your friends and say that,
Yeah.
I lost this client, they'll joke it off, but they'll still motivate you,
Yeah,
right? So
that
having
is.
a good set of friends is so important, and having that sense of community, having that brotherhood of just being with your friends who are also on the same path as you, that's unparalleled. So that's great, man. That's great to hear. And yeah, man, I think one last question before we get into the rapid fire is that what is one final piece of advice you would want to give to any freelancer, regardless if they are into the website space or not? What is that one final piece of advice you would want to give them in terms of growing the business and working on the business and business in general, or even life in general?
In business in general, growth as general, stop focusing on personal brand. Personal brand is one of the biggest myths. It works for some people,
Okay.
but it will not work for you starting. Start focusing on
Yeah.
sales. Outreach a hell
Mm.
lot. You can work easily by sleeping for 4 days, for 4 hours in a
Yeah.
day, to be honest. Start
Yeah.
outreaching a hell lot if you wanted to grow in future. That's the one thing, if you're starting out, focus on. Get more and more sales. That's the only way by which you can grow. That's it. Marketing, organic marketing, everything is secondary. First, focus. Second, life in general is like, again, it will contradict my first thing, but start focusing on your health. Sleep sometime more. Go to gym, go for a run, have
Yeah.
good food, uh, have a lot of, what do you call it, uh, go out and like do a lot of activities, to be honest.
Yeah.
So these are the
Yeah.
things which I, to be honest, suggest. Contradict a
Yeah.
lot, but it depends upon where you want to
No, I
focus.
think you're not contradicting. I would say a different take on it would be
Yeah.
that, just to summarize, right? Like I've been where you have been, and I'll tell you what I've realized from what you're saying, because I'm a few years elder to you, so I have that understanding. So the thing which you're trying to get to is that find your leverage points,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So if you, for example, if you are outreaching on LinkedIn, find your edge.
Yeah.
Okay. Outreach a lot. Why are you outreaching a lot? Because you're trying to find an edge,
Yeah.
right? Once you find out that, okay, this is the message sequence, this is the number of followers, follow-ups I have to do, then things go into a easy mode. It's not that you'll have to always keep reaching out to 1,000 people. No. There will come a time where you reach out to 100 people and get the same amount of conversions when you were reaching out to 1,000 people. So get efficient, but to get efficient, you will have to put in the reps. To build
Yeah.
muscle, you have to do the reps, right? You can't just get a big six, you can't get six pack abs, you can't get a big bicep just by doing nothing, right? But yes,
Yeah.
once you do
Absolutely.
understand that, okay, this is the core exercise I need to do, this is how much diet I need to take, then automatically things fall into place. You can get abs any time of the year,
Yeah. Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Second thing, what you mentioned about your life, optimizing your life, that is again so crucial. But obviously, if when you're starting out a business, there will come a time where you have to put in more reps, more hours. Like Priyesh mentioned, he had to give in 6 months. I had to give in 4 months to get my first client. Those few initial bit of months, they will be stressful, they will be uncertain, but certainly you need to have a outlet, right? Because you can get uncreative. Your creativity goes for a six when you are not, when you're just focused on one task. And creativity is extremely important, right? So creativity, finding joys and other things in life, because not everything is money,
Yeah.
but it is a lot of things, but not everything is money, and you need to find your outlets as well, right?
Absolutely.
So I
Yes.
think I hope I have put it in the way that you wanted to, Priyesh.
Absolutely. To be honest, like you put it in a better way.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, perfect. I think that's great advice for anybody who's listening. And getting to one of my favorite sections, which is like a surprise rapid fire round. So I hope you're ready
Okay.
for it. I'll ask
I'm
you a
not, but
couple of
let's
quick
do
questions.
it.
Okay, fine. So if you're into reading books, what is one book which is your favorite, and what is one book that you would recommend everybody read?
Rich Dad Poor Dad and Psychology of Money.
Psychology of Money. Okay, so these are like more money centric books,
Uh,
right? Like learning what are assets,
48 Laws of
liabilities.
Power.
Crazy. You not believe it. I don't have it with me right now, but I'm currently reading 40 Laws of Power. It's probably one of the most important books to read.
Yeah,
Uh, if not the most, I would say for certain people it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that is, I would say, it is the reality of life if you
absolutely.
read
Yeah.
that book,
Yeah.
right? So perfect, man. If you're fond of movies, what is your favorite movie, and what is one movie you would recommend people watch?
My favorite is, I don't know, might be Chennai Express. I love that movie a lot. I'm not
Okay,
that big of a
perfect.
movie fan. And one
Okay,
movie I would recommend everybody to watch, to be honest, is which one? I love this movie called. It's just give me a second.
sure, sure, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
What? What's Wall Street movie? There was this na.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. That's
Wolf of
that's
Wall
crazy
Street, crazy
movie.
movie.
Everybody
Yeah,
should
yeah, yeah.
watch.
One of our previous guests has also mentioned Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
So yeah, it is certainly a movie where you can learn, like it motivates you to
yeah.
do better in
It's
life, right?
it's like
So
you are living the life in a very wrong way. This is how you should be living, and it actually
yeah,
motivates you to go there.
yes, to live fully, to make money,
Yeah,
to go for the things that you want, right?
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
definitely, man, definitely,
yep.
perfect. If you had one superpower, what would that superpower look like? Any superpower in the world.
Imagine something, and the next second it is in front of you.
Okay. So materialistic, immaterialistic, anything that you want, right?
Absolutely.
So if
To
you
be
want a
honest,
beautiful
as of
girl,
now, I'm a
and you can
materialistic
imagine
person.
that
As of
beautiful
now,
girl, she will come in front of you like that.
not really. It's majority of. I love a lot of stuff. I'm a tech guy. I'm a tech guy.
Okay.
As I'm a design
Okay.
developer, I love
Hmm.
tech, Macs,
Okay.
iPhones, any new tech, whatever comes in.
Yeah. Perfect. So on that note, who is your favorite tech YouTuber or tech creator?
MKBHD, no doubt,
Okay.
dude. That guy is
Perfect.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense, man. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And just for motivating some people out there who are watching this, what is the biggest retainer client you've ever closed for your agency?
It was. I closed a client last year September. It was
Hmm.
close to 7 lakhs.
Okay.
It's a proper website, like custom coded website with lots of
Okay.
features.
Okay.
So
So
it
almost
was
eight
a
and a
no,
half, $9,000.
it was not retainer, but the client has chosen monthly payments. Like
Okay.
every month they were giving us 1200, close to $1,200. So it was literally
Crazy.
amazing. Every month 1200 was coming and the project was going on pretty well.
Perfect, man. Perfect. I think that'll really motivate the people
Yeah,
who are watching this. And again, for the people who loved this podcast, who loved what Priyesh had to say, I'll be putting in all his links down below.
yeah, sure.
If you want to get a website made, you can reach out to Priyesh. And if you need any guidance, you can reach out to Priyesh. And thank you so much for joining in, man. It was a
Thanks
lovely
a lot, man.
conversation, and I
Thanks a
hope
lot
to
for
speak to you again
inviting.
very soon. Perfect, man. Perfect. Thanks a lot, and hope to speak to you soon.
So sure.